Hello, hello. Just turn this computer off. And I'm going to invite Betsy.
Hi. Good, but
Hi,
I'm
where
not
are you?
sure what is happening. Okay, let me see. Yeah. How are you doing?
There you are. I'm good.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm here just adjusting the light and that's it. I think it's okay. Yeah, I'm busy, tired, but I'm good.
Cool. Cool. Uh, so yeah, today we're going to talk about
Yes.
strength training. And yeah, very important type of exercise. It's absolutely crucial that people do it. And so we're going to get into why. So the major concept that we need to keep in mind is time under tension, is how much tension you keep your body, the muscles under, and that is going to help your muscles to grow. So you can do calisthenics, you can do different types of body weight, you can do different types of conventional strength training with dumbbells and barbells. You can use kettlebells, you can use bands, rings. Gymnastic rings are big now. Chin-up bars, but the most important thing that the muscles are going to uh, register is time under tension. So, I mean, you can swim too. Like you can put on muscle swimming. So keep that in mind when you're doing strength training. So if you want to mix it up, you go right ahead. What type of strength training do you like to
Me?
do?
Uh,
But
like
yeah,
some weights, but it's like
yeah,
not too heavy, light weights. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and you're going to get not just muscle benefits, benefits to your muscles. Bone density is a big thing after, let's say, 35, 40,
Yeah.
especially for females, is you need to strength train not just for your muscles, but also for your bones.
For,
And when you
and
keep
also for
all of that lean tissue,
balancing your hormones as well.
absolutely, yeah. Um, and so when you do when you do strength training, you're going to, when you keep all your lean tissue, uh, your muscles and bones, you're going to keep your
Yes.
metabolic rate higher. Uh, and so that's way more effective than just relying on cardiovascular exercise to um, to maintain weight. And when you said about hormones, so yes, growth hormone to start off, that's an important hormone. Um, Helps you to rebuild your body. Not just growth hormone, but testosterone, and not just for um, males, but also for females. You need a certain amount of testosterone. It's really important. It helps you with your mood. It helps you with your sex drive and other aspects of physiology. So um, it's really important that females do exercise too. You know, I was going to talk about this a bit later, but yeah, a lot of people say I shouldn't work out because I don't want to get too big. Well, in when we're talking about hormones, like because your hormones, your testosterone isn't nearly as high as a male's, you're not going to get big. Um, just doing strength training, even if strength training very heavy, if you're eating a regular diet,
No,
then you're
you
not
are
going to
going
get
to
huge.
get huge if you are taking steroids. And your voice is going to change, and
Exactly.
all these people to say, oh, look, my six pack, these women that has six pack because they build a six-pack doing this and this, they are on steroids. There is no natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a week.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's really important that you keep that in mind, and not just those hormones, but even insulin. Like, so insulin is the hormone that takes the sugar from the blood and puts it into the cells. So when you strength train, you're first of all, you're going to, just the mechanical aspect of strength training helps to bring the sugar to the cells. And then when you strength train, you're also, because strength training is a type of exercise that requires sugar and glycogen or sugar, right? Glycogen is sugar. So because of that, your cells are going to make more. It doesn't matter what the name is. The receptors to take the sugar, because there's receptors on the surface of the cell. So those receptors, your body's gonna make more of them if you keep stimulating it with strength training, to then take the sugar and put it into the cells. So when you do that, as you know, Betsy, as a nutritionist and trained dietitian, you're going to help to decrease the rate of diabetes, because you are increasing insulin sensitivity. Body's more sensitive to insulin because it has more receptors to grab the insulin and then put it into the cells. You want to get that sugar out of your bloodstream, because too much sugar in the bloodstream is toxic. And so that is a great advantage that a lot of people don't think about when they start lifting weights. So yeah, once you start lifting weights, you might even notice if you're eating healthy, your appetite being a lot more regulated, because your body's taking care of the sugar in the bloodstream.
It's important to say, when we talk about resistance, people sometimes think that they just need to eat proteins, because proteins build muscle. But carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, are also important for that muscle, because from them it comes the glycogen in a process called glycogenesis, that is keep the store energy in the muscle. So it's important to eat a balanced whole food diet, not only proteins, not only carbohydrates. Sometimes people think that they want to lose weight and they just remove all the carbs. Bad idea.
Yeah. Bad idea. It's like, when you don't have, like, we're talking about 5 to 10 pounds of water, mostly water, because it's a carbohydrate. So yeah, when you eat carbs, you puff up because you need water to store the glycogen in your muscles and in your liver. So yeah, there is 5 or 10 pounds if you're doing like a no carb nutrition plan, let's call it. You're gonna lose 5 to 10 pounds the first week, because you don't have that glycogen in your muscle. But a lot of people who do this a lot, they are going to probably need to be dependent on stimulants, because how are you going to do explosive workouts without sugar in your body, or over relying, because the liver can make, we're going down a tangent, but the liver can make sugar from protein, but to depend on your liver to always do that when you can just eat complex like carbs, and you could be strategic about it. Timed carbohydrate feeding, like, if you lift weights every other day, you can maybe
also the last resource that the body is going to take in consideration. The body protein is also the last resource for the body to take into consideration to get energy from there, because protein has other essential components, like functions, right?
Exactly. And the third macronutrient, I mean, you can definitely add to this, but you need fat. It's a really good. It helps you. I mean, if you do eat meat, then you will get cholesterol from your fat, because animal products have cholesterol, and that helps you to make steroid hormones, testosterone
Yeah,
and
that's
estrogen.
why it's like there is this tendency to say, oh, cholesterol is bad. No, it's not bad. It's essential in the process of making some
Mm-hmm.
hormones. The estrous ones are made from cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to choose is what kind
Mm-hmm.
of fat are you eating.
Yes. Yeah. I never shy away from the fat from like a steak or anything because I know it's good for you. It's overeating, it's over calories. That's the big thing. The body registers calories, which you don't have to count, but that's the essential thing. Um, so there's a bit of a background on nutrition and weightlifting and why it's important to have your different micronutrients. Um, so another thing about weightlifting, strength training, is it's going to help you with your mood. Like it's going to help you with, people who strength train have better mental acuity. They have, because it's partly because I think proprioception, which is when the body knows where it is in relation to
Mm-hmm.
space and time, that gets sharper when you strength train. And, and, and so it's going to help you with like keeping the risk of Alzheimer's at bay, things like that. It's really essential that you strength train. Don't shy away from strength training, people. You're meant to strain your body a bit. It's good. It's a good type of
Yes, it
stress.
is good time stress. That's true. So what will be the
um,
time that you will recommend for people that want to just one to lose weight and also the other ones that want just to maintain like a balanced health?
to strength train, okay. So if you want to lose body fat, I would say strength training, heavy strength training with
Mm-hmm.
walking is an amazing combo. That's what the pros do. The bikini models and the bodybuilders, they lift pretty heavy and then they just walk to burn their fat because you're not straining yourself when you walk, and it's just easy. Um, and then you're building that muscle and and then you're going to increase your basal metabolic rate. Now, the body takes about 48 hours to repair. So it's called delayed onset muscle soreness, right? Especially for beginners. Just if you're a veteran, you don't really often feel it as much. Um, so you can do a full body. That's what a lot of the pros did back in the day before Arnold came out in the late 60s, early 70s. Just a full body every other day. And then you might mix up like, okay, today I'm going to do my pushes. Obviously, you do your main major muscle groups, and then you might sprinkle in, okay, this time I'm going to do triceps, this time I'm going to do biceps, this time I'm going to do calves, which is probably the most important secondary muscle group. And so you can do that every other day if you're going to the gym and lifting. It's very manageable because when you're lifting and doing the major muscle lifts, the compound lifts, meaning you're using two joints. So a push is a compound, for example, a pull, a squat. So you're using your
Mm-hmm.
secondary muscle groups anyways. So a lot of guys in the gym, they're like, I barely ever do tricep extensions or bicep curls because they already know that if you're doing a pull, you're already going to work your biceps. If you're doing a push, you're already going to work your triceps. So keep that in mind. It's a lot more manageable than doing all of these different splits, especially if you're a beginner. And a lot of the people who do the splits were popular. They got popular in the 70s, especially in the 70s, I think, because that's when steroids got big. So you could do a split. You could do like, oh, today I'm going to do my traps, and I'm not going to do my traps until next Monday, and you're giving your body all this time with the steroids to get big. So that's why it got big, the splits. But most people, you don't have to do it. Everyday people, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do splits, especially for that respect. Like some push-pull legs, sure. Like, but honestly, if you're a beginner, just start with the full body workout. Trust me, you're gonna save so much time not having to think about like this one muscle group or whatnot.
And I think you not necessarily need like weights, right? Because I have been working with you without any weight, just with my body weight.
Exactly. You can start with your body weight movements. I do a lot of like marine style workouts, and so there's two different types of movements. There's the closed chain and the open chain. Closed chain is when, because it means the chain of movements. So the closed chain is like, let's say you're doing a push, your hands are fixed to the floor. So the push up is a closed chain movement because the end of the limb is closed.
Yeah.
It's on a surface. The open chain version would be a bench press, a dumbbell press, some type of press. The advantages to closed chain is that you stimulate your body to move itself. You're moving your center of mass. And then because you are doing that, your body's going to be like, okay, well, we can't get too big, but we want to get strong. So it really helps you to stay like a certain size, not get blow up, but be strong for that size. Like if I did, I do pull-ups, I don't go to the gym that much right now. Because I do a lot of pull-ups, like the open chain version, the lat pull down is going to be so much easier, but it doesn't translate the other way as well. Yeah, that's why you can, like, so keep that in mind. If you're wanting to start moving, the most important, or start strength training, the most important piece of equipment is the floor. It's the floor. That's why I have this big mat with like that's duct taped, and that's like 10 years old. That is the most important piece of equipment that you need. And you can get pretty much everything done with just the floor to start. Full body. Yeah. So there's a big, good overview. And then, you can start adding different types of tools or going to the gym, dumbbells, barbells. Dumbbells are great. Barbells are great because you can really load your legs and do like squats, and because that those big movements, those big muscles, the squat, the quads, hamstrings.
Yeah,
glutes,
so if you are now at the gym,
you can, if you really,
what can you add? Like bands, weights, what else?
You can do bands, kettlebells, dumbbells. Remember, it's also time under tension. So you can, if you have, like, I've got dumbbells and kettlebells and stuff like that to use to work my legs. I could use the odd day at the gym though for a full body, a heavier day, honestly. But you can get a lot of pretty much everything done at home with barely anything, especially to start. So that's what I recommend people to get going on. So one thing I wanted to say is, just to segue, is when you're, lifting weights is really not too early to, if you're like a teenager, you can start lifting. Even kids, they can start doing calisthenics. It's fine. And really keep in mind that at around 30 years old, your body's going to start to decline, especially like if you don't lift. So at 1 to 2% of muscle mass, that's like after 3 years, that's significant. So you need to lift weights. Keep that muscle mass on, because it's so much harder to put back on. So if you're in your, if you're in your early 20s and you're like, I'll put it off. No, start lifting. Start strength training. It's really important for you to start planning ahead. And it's really, I think it's very efficient rather than just doing cardio for maintaining your weight. Because when you put that muscle on, you are going to be revving, your metabolism is going to be much higher than somebody with less lean muscle tissue. And so
and also
do the lifting. I think
your hormones are going to be more balanced.
yes, your hormones are going to be more balanced.
And
Um,
you are
yes, so it's
going to
really,
feel less hungry as well.
yeah, because you're going to
Insulin.
help regulate the insulin because of the mechanical and chemical, well, and the physiological adjustments that your body does because you start lifting. It's going to start putting that sugar in the cells. It's going to start grabbing making more receptors for your on the cells to grab the sugar. So yeah, that's everything on my whiteboard except for just one thing is we kind of talked before on Saturday we were talking about, which is alludes to the females, like if you're under like around 20%, like less than that percent fat,
That's bad idea.
yeah, it's
Yeah, and you
bad.
are going to start having hormonal problems. Your periods are going to start like missing. Um,
Yeah.
it is important for women to have over 20% of fat in the body, 20% fat in the body.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you are going to start, your hair is going to start to decline.
Yeah. Men, maybe
Yeah.
15. That's like a good, I think that's under 10. If you're like in your 40, like under 10, I don't know why you would want to work that hard to be under 10%. Honestly, it's just like a number, and it's just because like people need to realize that being absolutely ripped is fat is in the equation. It's part of the game, and it's just finding out how much. Like
Yeah,
you want to be like 4%.
And
like
fat has also functions in the body. So it's
so many functions. Yes. Yes.
So it is important to not be scared of eating healthy fats.
Yeah.
Because are necessary. Anything that you want to add?
Not really. I think we covered a lot. I went on a rant there. But again, it's never too late to start. Start now. And, you know, it doesn't have to be the conventional strength. Like if you want to go for a swim, I'm telling you, you'll put muscle on. If you want to, you know, walk. I have one of my clients walking on a treadmill with a weighted vest. He's putting muscle on his legs. You know, so it doesn't have to be the standard weightlifting routines, but find something that suits you that is strength training oriented. Don't shy away from it, especially the females. And I think it's that trend is definitely dissipated or that way of thinking is dissipated in the past 15, 20 years, I'd say. Women are like going to the gym now, doing deadlifts, you know, doing all that stuff. So
yeah,
good on them.
Yeah. If
And
you want an online trainer, someone to guide you, just go to Sartre because it's expertise. Yeah, and it is important that in the beginning you are guided because you don't want to hurt your body either. So it's important to be guide for someone like you that know what he's doing.
At least twice a week to about every other day if you're doing a full body routine. If you're doing splits, yes, you can do 5-6 days a week. Not as time efficient, in my opinion, than doing a full body. Leroy Colbert, Google him. He's got a YouTube page. He's a former pro from the 60s, huge bicep. Just did full body. This is pre Schwarzenegger, when men looked like when the male strength bodybuilders looked pretty, you know, in my opinion, as opposed to now. Right before Schwarzenegger, so the 60s and 50s, full body every other day. That's it, and then he would walk. And so it's a pretty simple equation, people. Doesn't have to be complex.
And I have one more question. What would you be like recommending for women when they are in their period? What kind of exercises?
Well, if it's like really, if it's really heavy or whatnot, I think they might want to center a resting around there, or I mean, I don't think it should really change that much. Maybe you go lighter,
And stretches
but
a lot or what?
well, I've never really had my clients really talk to me about this to this degree. Honestly, I think you should just stay active no matter, in general. Now, if it's like your cramps are like out of control and whatnot, then yeah, just take that time off, try and go for a walk instead or whatnot, try and be somewhat active. But I don't really have anything to really say in terms of this specific exercise
Okay.
will do this specific thing. I just know that being consistent and one thing is learn your cycle so that you can plan
Yes,
around your
that's very
cycle.
important.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Huh?
25 minutes, not bad. 25 minutes. And the video
Yeah,
was really
it's
clear
good
today
because the
on
last
my end.
2 Mondays, it was like terrible. So, yeah.
Sorry, my computer's off. Maybe I don't know. But
I
thanks for
forgot,
listening,
I
everybody. If you have
forgot
any
to remind
questions,
you. You turn off your computer? Okay, good.
yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you have any questions about strength training, please hit me up. If you have any questions about nutrition or surrounding your strength training, please hit Betsy up, and we'll be happy to. It's a cornerstone of your fitness. Is the push yourself, get uncomfortable, lift the weights, push yourself, do the push-ups, do the calisthenics.
Yeah.
Your body will thank you.
Yeah, your body will thank
You
you.
have to be
Huh?
uncomfortable. A little bit of uncomfort is what we actually need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so don't shy away from
Exactly.
it.
It's healthy. Yeah.
It's healthy. Eustress, not distress.
Exactly. Okay. So I guess
Okay. We'll see everybody next.
yeah.
I said we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah, so everybody have a good week and we'll see you with another topic next Monday. Okay.
Okay.
Have a good night. Take care.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.